This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 552, Why $1 Million Should Be Laughed At, by Corey Fick with budgetsaresexy.com. And hi again, everybody. I'm your narrator, Dan, here each weekday reading to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And before we get to today's post, I want to take a moment to give a big thank you to Design Crowd for their support. Design Crowd is a website that helps entrepreneurs, startups, and small businesses, from accountants and dentists to financial planners, marketers, and consultants, outsource or crowdsource custom logo, business card, and web design from designers around the world. For a special $100 VIP offer for our listeners, check out designcrowd.com/finance to learn more and save up to $100 when you start your next project. That's Design Crowd, DESIGNCROWD.com/finance, or simply enter the discount code finance when posting a project on Design Crowd. For now, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. Why $1 Million Should Be Laughed At, by Corey Fick with budgetsaresexy.com. If you know anything about Budgets Are Sexy, you know that Jay Money is well on his way toward $1 million. Not only does he have 83 people in his $1 million club, but he also gives regular updates on his net worth. If either of these two things doesn't inspire you to shoot for a cool million, I don't know what would. Yet, if I were to be honest, I don't aspire to be a millionaire. I hate to say it, but there's a reason why I haven't joined the $1 million club. I don't mean to hate, because it does a lot to get people on the right track, but if you really look at what $1 million can do for you, I think you will come to realize that it's nothing special. That's right, I said it. $1 million isn't worth that much these days, especially if it makes up your entire fund for retirement. Instead of focusing entirely on one lump sum, I want to emphasize cash flow. Cash flow is more important to focus on because that is what really matters when it comes to living out the years when you are old and wrinkly. When it comes to paying all of your bills, do you figure out how much you have in the bank, or do you figure out how much you earn for the month or year? I think it's more of the latter. $1 million sounds like a lot. Most people associate $1 million with either the lottery or a huge pile of gold. $1 million is something that exists only in dreams. So when they think of having $1 million all to themselves, it sounds a little crazy. Considering that the average U.S. family earns less than $50K per year, it makes sense that only a few would think $1 million is within their reach. As a result of this perception, many ambitious individuals set their retirement goals on this large number. Because it sounds like a lot of money, they figure that if they could have $1 million by the time they retire, they'll be set for life. I know that I have thought the same thing. If someone gave me $1 million, I would be tempted to quit my day job because it sounds like so much money. I'm sure most of you have thought the same thing. Why $1 million ain't all it's cracked up to be. Yet even though $1 million sounds like a lot, it really isn't that much when it has to last you the rest of your life. It is often said that the safe withdrawal rate for retirement funds is around 4%. This means that you can withdraw 4% of your total lump sum and survive for another 30 years or so. If you have exactly $1 million to start with, this means your annual income is a whopping $40,000. While I could live on that, it really doesn't sound like that much, does it? I'm sure this is how we all feel, yet the problem with this is that it often takes 40 years to reach this landmark. With enough discipline to save and invest your money over the length of your career, I think that many people could reach the $1 million mark. But if we're going to be honest, who wants to go through all of that work? 40 years of ceaseless discipline takes a lot out of a person. It often equates to years of sacrificing the things you want now just for financial security later. It definitely isn't that sexy, that's for sure. Why cash flow is better than a lump sum. It was at the same time that I was working on my early retirement plan that I started to realize how long it would take me to save up enough money to quit my day job. Saving enough money in the bank in order to continue my current lifestyle would take me decades to accomplish. And that's when it hit me. If I started a business that would generate enough income to replace the income from my day job, I could retire early. The only catch is that it would have to be profitable enough that I could hire someone to take care of many aspects of running the business and leave me with money in my pocket. In other words, my net profit after all expenses would have to equal the income from my day job. That doesn't sound easy either, right? Most businesses require upfront costs like purchasing land or mandatory operating expenses like a mortgage or insurance, etc. This often limits the profitability of small businesses because there is so much overhead. After considering this, I decided to focus my efforts on the online world because of its small overhead. The only expense that I have for a blog is $10 per year for the domain and $100 per year to pay a company to host it for me. By creating and running online blogs, I imagine that I will be able to generate enough income to replace my pathetic income from my day job in the next year or two. I'm not confident that the online world will continue to be as profitable in 10 or 20 years, so I'm going to use my income as an investment to get into real estate. People will always need to rent a home or apartment, right? As my online business develops, I should be able to hire out more aspects of running the sites while keeping a huge profit for myself. I hope that this will allow me to increase my free time and help me see retirement at an early age. By focusing on building up cash flow, I don't have to wait around for my yearly contributions and compound interest to slowly add up to a large lump sum. Instead, I am able to reap the same benefits in a short period of time. It seems like the best of both worlds, an early retirement with the same size income as those who save their whole life. You just listened to the post titled, Why $1 Million Should Be Laughed At, by Corey Fick with budgetsaresexy.com. And by the way, you can find out more info about Corey at 20sfinances.com. Thanks again to Design Crowd for their support of today's episode. Design Crowd is a website that helps entrepreneurs and small businesses, from accountants and dentists to financial planners, marketers, and more, outsource or crowdsource custom logo, business card, and web design. Get the perfect custom design every time. For a special $100 VIP offer for our listeners, check out designcrowd.com/finance to learn more and save up to $100 when you start your next project. And it's really simple to get started. You post a brief describing the design you need. Then Design Crowd will invite its 600,000 plus designers to submit. And within hours, you'll receive your first design. Over the course of 3 to 10 days, you'll likely have 60 to 100 or more different designs from designers around the world, and you get to pick the best one and approve payment. If you don't find a design you like, no worries. Design Crowd has a money-back guarantee. So again, for that $100 VIP offer, come by designcrowd.com/finance. That's Design Crowd, DESIGNCROWD.com/finance, or simply enter the discount code FINANCE when posting a project on Design Crowd. And that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for being here and being a subscriber to the show. I will be back with you tomorrow where I'll have a post from I Will Teach You to Be Rich. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.